The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. After National Conference, Vice President Omar Abdullah suggested that the BJP could form a government with Engineer Rashid's Awami Ittehad Party. People's Democratic Party PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti today has called the AIP a proxy of the government, and she has said that its only aim is to divide the Kashmiri vote. In fact, she said that barring the PDP, NC and the Congress, all of the political parties and independent candidates are the proxies of the BJP. With Rashid in jail, how was the AIP managing to field candidates from everywhere? This is what she has asked. In the recent Lok Sabha elections, if you remember, Rashid had defeated Omar Abdullah from Baramulla. Earlier, Omar Abdullah also had said that the BJP had struck a deal with some parties and independents for help to form the government in the Union Territory. Remember, Jammu and Kashmir will witness assembly elections after 10 years. This is the first assembly elections that will be held in Jammu and Kashmir after it became a Union Territory after Article 370 was abrogated. And Omar Abdullah had also said that all these independents and smaller parties were coming up, were being fielded only because they want to target one person, that is himself. This is what we discussed tonight. Are separatists and independents and smaller parties pushing the mainstream political parties of J&K to a corner? We will be joined by my colleague Nazir, but first let's look at some reactions to this story.
जो पार्टी बनाने में मुफ्ती साहब को 50 साल लगे और अभी तक हमारे पास ऐसे रिसोर्सेज नहीं है कि हम जगह जगह कैंडिडेट खड़ा करें। एक आदमी जो जेल के अंदर है, पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शन लड़ते हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है। अब उनकी ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के पीछे कौन है जो जगह जगह उनके लोग खड़े होते हैं? वो पैसा कहां से आता है, वो फंड्स कहां से आते हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात वो जुर्रत कहां से आते हैं जिसकी वजह से वो गुंडागर्दी करते हैं।
सिर्फ गांधरबल से ही नहीं ना, उनसे एक गलती भी हो गई। वो सोच रहे थे कि मेरा दूसरा सीट बीरवा का होगा, लेकिन मैंने भी चालाकी की। मैंने अपनी सीट का ऐलान नहीं किया और वो गलत सीट पे जाके अपने वो नामजदगी के कागज भर गए।
Okay, Nazir, my colleague, joins us. Nazir reports on J&K for NDTV. Nazir, tell us, there are reports which say that at least 44% of the candidates this time are independents or people from smaller parties. Is that a concern in J&K? And why is both Mehbooba Mufti and Omar Abdullah targeting these independents and separatists and alleging that there is a BJP hand to this?
Well, Vasudha, technically they may be independents, but majority of these 44% candidates who qualify as independent are linked to political parties. For example, Engineer Rashid's party is Awami Ittehad Party. Since it's not a recognized party, so all its candidates would qualify as, would be known as independents. So is Apni Party. It's not recognized party. It has field candidates so much at so many places, it would be called as independent. They would be called. Same is the case with the Jamaat-linked candidates. Since Jamaat Islami is a band, so their candidates have independently, filed their nomination papers. They are called independent. That is why you see such a huge number, which is very, very high by national standards. Very high, 44% candidates in first two phases are independent candidates. So there has been, people are talking about conspiracy theory as we played Omar Abdullah's bite. He's talking about, look, a man who is facing UAPA charges is in jail. This Tarjan Barkati, who was face of a violent agitation in 2016. And then he would call for asking you to resort to guns, pick up gun, become suicide. Same man is now filing for, nomination papers, not at one place, but three places. First, his nomination papers were rejected in Shopia. Then he filed nomination papers against Omar Abdullah in Ganderbal and also in Birwa. Now today, Mehbooba Mufti accusing Engineer Rashid, who is an MP from Baramulla, in Ittehad jail for last more than 5 years on terror funding charges, that he is a BJP proxy. And she's asking us, where did all these funds, he's fielding the candidate, where the funds come? Funds come from? Who is financing him? So his party, AIP spokesman, has hit back and said, look, PDP is the party which has laid the ground for abrogation of Article 370 by aligning with the BJP. So they are saying they are responsible for Hindutva project in Jammu and Kashmir. So these are allegations and counter allegations, but clearly there is a very high number of independent candidates who are contesting this election in Jammu and Kashmir, as we are reflecting 44% candidates, which is more than 214 or 15 in the first two phases.
Right.
And we don't know how many more are going to coming to independence and joining the race in the third phase. But one constituency stands out, which is Bijbehara. There are only three candidates who are contesting the, which is Mehbooba Mufti's daughter Iltija Mufti, NC candidate Dr. Bashir Viri, and BJP candidate Sophie Yusuf. There's no independent candidate contesting from Bijbehara constituency, which has the lowest number of candidates, which is just 3.
Right. Nasir, also tell us who are the important separatists who are also contesting elections this time, because Jamaat-e-Islami has been banned, but of course its ex-members are also contesting as independents. Which are the smaller parties that need to be understood, because some of them are not even registered in Jammu and Kashmir? There's People's Conference, there's also even Chandrasekhar Azad's party, Azad Samaj Party, has also started a membership drive there. So clearly a lot of political parties are taking interest in Jammu and Kashmir. But first tell us about the separatists who are contesting elections in J&K this time.
Well, Jamaat-e-Islami was the fountainhead of separatism and also militancy in Jammu and Kashmir. When armed militancy started, Jamaat was the political mentor of Hizbul Mujahideen. That is well known. They may deny it today, but that is well known. Their leaders were they were the administrators, they were they were the heads of political wings. Nothing new about that. Those who live in Kashmir know who was who in Kashmir. Now they are saying, look, they were part of democracy before 90, but because of the rigging in 87 elections, that's why people lost faith in democracy. Then there was a militancy. Partly, it may be true there was rigging, but you can't absolve Pakistan from its responsibility. But they have sent thousands of guns and militants here. You can't give it a democratic color. So militancy was because of rigging. So that is one. Second, Jamaat League candidates are at several places. They are giving actually tough fight to, for example, in Kulgam, Muhammad Yusuf Tarigami of CPIM, lone comrade in Kashmir, who has been winning elections since 1996. But this time he is facing a tough, challenge from the Jamaat-Islami linked candidate Sayyar Ahmed, who yesterday held a major rally in Kulgam.
Right. Thank you, Nazir, for joining us with those critical details. Jammu and Kashmir poll action intensifying, with both NC and PDP alleging that the BJP has struck a deal with regional parties and independent candidates, but BJP claiming that this is a new dawn of democracy in J&K. We'll keep tracking that and more for you, but now time for a short break. More news and updates on the